The work that my laboratory group is doing, it's got two main areas. Firstly, we're really interested in cell death pathways, how cells die, in terms of the signalling pathways and so on. And we explore that by looking at cancer cells and how they die when they're treated with various different compounds. So some of them are repurposed drugs. So for example, an anti-nausea drug, which might be able to act as a anti-cancer agent. That's pretty interesting. And then we've even done some research on honey and marine biotoxins and looked at how they kill cancer cells as well. And then for our second main area of research, we are very interested in stem cells that come from the bone marrow. And they migrate all the way from the bone marrow. They're called to any site of inflammation, wound healing as well, but also in tumours. They come and become part of the tumour mass itself. And so we are looking at how they get there and what they do when they get there. We've found some really fascinating things about that. There's, for example, some enzymes which normally will act in your cells to recycle proteins and things, which in cancer can be let out of the cell and float around in the extracellular environment and call these bone marrow mesenchymal stem cells, they're called, to that site, that area of the body. And following on from that, we're using the mesenchymal stem cells as a therapy, because of course we know they can get to the tumour on their own. And one of the things about cancer therapy that isn't so good about the therapies available at the moment is that they have side effects because they go to other areas of the body. So these cells go specifically to the tumour, and we can get them to go there and cause them to produce other compounds to kill the cancer cells. So we're just starting to investigate that at the moment. Cancer therapies are the end goal for our research. We are looking at drug development in terms of the cell death pathway part, but also in making our own cell therapy with the mesenchymal stem cells. So we will, if it all works out, and it turns out to be a good idea in the first place, we will be able to take mesenchymal stem cells, possibly even from the patient themselves, and probably transfect them in the lab to overexpress various different types of proteins, then send them back into the patient to kill the tumour, which would be a rather fantastic way of doing it with very few side effects, you see. A lot of students are very interested in stem cells and also in being able to work on cancer therapies. A lot of people have been influenced by cancer or had an impact of cancer in their own lives, and I think that is a rather horrible experience, but it enables people to give themselves a goal to aim towards being able to work in this kind of area of therapy. And so those are two things that people are very interested in. Some other people are also interested in signalling pathways and cell death themselves, or they might want to work on a specific compound. So the project on honey that we were doing recently was initiated by that particular student. If you're at all interested in how our bodies work and in disease, then pharmacology and toxicology is the intersection of all health sciences that approach that sort of area. So you can learn about how the body functions on a larger scale, a bit like anatomy or more like physiology, or you might be interested in the biochemistry, how cells work, or you might be interested in drug development, which is getting a bit more towards chemistry. There are even physics type of aspects, and they all come together in pharmacology. So if you are interested in any of those, then you'd be interested in pharmacology. You have the opportunity to find out how diseases work, as well as how a healthy body works, and how to then improve things for the patient and discover your own means of curing them. And that's just pharmacology. We haven't even got to toxicology yet. So the toxicology, you can look at the environment as well, the natural environment and the poisons in the environment, as well as some of our medicines, of course, are in the category of poisons, because such as cancer chemotherapy, they of course are killing cells, and so they go on that toxicology side too. So there's a lot of different areas which intersect.